Keep the next heading part 4a. It is dealing with what? Small chapter only, but very important chapter again. Fundamental duties. Fundamental duties means what? If somebody asks you the difference between rights and duties. Rights are obligation on the state. Very good. Duties are obligation on a individual, citizen. Okay. Inka. If you are sitting here, it is your right to ask for completion of syllabus. It is your duty to say good morning. Getting the point? To your parents, it is your right to ask the property. It is your duty to respect them. Are you getting the point? It is not your duty to ask the property. You will never say. When you fight with the parent, when you go for a love marriage or arranged marriage or some other marriages and split with the parent, you go to a court and say it is my right, being his kid, being his child, to demand for the property. Yes or no? And also it is your duty to respect your parents, to go in accordance with the choice of their marriage. Okay, వాళ్ళు చూసినటువంటి సంబంధం చూసి పెళ్లి చేసుకోవాలా. Clear? It is your duty, you are respecting them. And also it is your right to demand the ancestral or other properties as such. But here, we are not nowhere speaking about a parent, a teacher, somebody like that. But here we are speaking about the whole India as such. Okay. So, when we speak about fundamental duties, they are not there in the Indian constitution from the very beginning. Okay. They are added to the constitution. When was it added? It was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. It was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. And according to the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, we have added a new part to the Constitution called Part 4A. And also, we have added a new article called Article 51A. Is this clear? And also, the idea of fundamental duties was taken from where? Okay. The idea of fundamental duties are taken from USSR. We have borrowed from USSR. USSR is currently known as Russia. In Russia, the duties are actually made for the armed forces. What are their duties? Being in service, being in uniform. What kind of patriotism should be replicated while you wear a uniform? Otherwise, in India, it is not just for armed forces, but every citizen should follow these duties. Once we start writing the fundamental duties, you will come to a conclusion why Srimati Indira Gandhi was very, very particular about this. Okay, now. Next. Fundamental duties are added to the Constitution after being recommended by Sravan Singh Committee. Which committee, ma? Sravan Singh Committee recommended for the insertion of fundamental duties into Indian Constitution. There is one another committee also whose recommendations were actually not accepted. The committee whose recommendations are not accepted. Okay, recommendations which are not accepted by Indira Gandhi were of Verma Committee. Which committee duties are not accepted by Government of India? Verma Committee recommendations are not accepted, but the committee recommendations which were accepted by the Government of India were Sravan Singh Committee. So if in your examination they ask whose recommendations are not accepted for fundamental duties, it is Verma Committee. On whose committee, on whose recommendation fundamental duties are added to the Constitution? Sravan Singh Committee. And it was a very, very peak year, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 1976. This is the year I'm speaking about. Okay. This is very, 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 very important in the history of India. Because we will have to go to or take you to one of the most prominent leader in Indian history, post-independent history if I can call, there is Srimati Indira Gandhi. You might have heard. She is the very powerful Prime Minister that India had produced so far. And it was the time where India had gone for national emergency. The emergency was ongoing at this moment. Why? We have so far got national emergency in our country for 3 times. How many times national emergency was imposed? 3 times. Once during 1961-62, that is India-China war. Again in 1971, that was during India-Pakistan war. And again in 1975, that was internal conflicts or the internal disturbances. And these internal disturbances you are all aware of, that it is after a case called Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case. Can you remember this? What is the case all about? We know below. Election te kaun sa tha? In Uttar Pradesh, there are 2 constituencies which are the hub for TRS, hub for Indian National Congress. One is a constituency called Rai Bareli and the other is a constituency called Amethi. Okay, there are 2 constituencies. One is Rai Bareli and the other being Amethi. They are the hub for Indian National Congress. And from Rai Bareli constituency, 2 persons have contested. One is Indira Gandhi and the other is Raj Narayan. Okay, in this particular election, Indira Gandhi emerged to be victorious in 1971. After winning the election, Raj Narayan filed a petition initially in Allahabad High Court, later on in the Supreme Court, claiming that Indira Gandhi have used the administrative machinery to win this particular election. Adhikara durviniyogam chesi ఈ ఎన్నికలలో విజయం సాధించింది. But that is, she have used the power, she have used the administration in order to win this particular poll. Allahabad High Court have given a historical verdict saying that the election of Srimati Indira Gandhi will be called null and void. Meaning, the election of Srimati Gandhi will be cancelled, will not be taken into consideration. This verdict was given in the year 1975. Just understand. 1971 elections are conducted. Verdict came in 1975. Within 1 year we again have the elections schedule. ఇంకొక సంవత్సరంలోనే మళ్ళీ మనకు ఎన్నికలు కూడా ఉన్నాయి. Yes or no? So, at that moment, Srimati Indira Gandhi, after her election was called null and void, another important point need to be understood. All across the country, all across India, there is a political party called Janata Party. Have raised the anti-Indira slogans against the Indira Gandhi government. They have done protest and also Indira Gandhi down karke nara lagaya, that is they have given all the slogans against Srimati Indira Gandhi.